how to stop overthinking during high school basketball games. Let's get into it. All right. The first thing that will help you out a ton is you gotta limit your options. I've spoken about this with players I've coached one-to-one. I've talked about it with players I work with in groups. You gotta give yourself a 50-50 chance to guess correctly. When you're in the game, let's say you catch the ball on the wing. You're thinking of a million things you could do. Should I jab to the left? Should I cross over? Should I do a step back? You're thinking of every possible thing you could do, right? But if instead you gave yourself two options whenever you catch the ball on the wing, 50% of the time you're going to pick a pretty good option. You say, okay, do I shoot? Do I drive? That's a 50-50 chance. Next time you catch the ball on the wing, do I shoot or do I pass? Do I drive or I pass? It's a 50-50 chance. Now, you might be saying to me, well, Mark, I heard with basketball IQ, you should, be able to react better and you should be able to think through many different things. Yeah, but you're not there right now. If you're still overthinking like that in games, you're not there yet with your basketball IQ, and that's okay. I think one of the best ways to fix that problem is to limit your options. If you're taking a test, right, you had a little bit of studying, would you prefer multiple choice or open-ended? You would probably prefer the multiple choice. So treat basketball like that. Give yourself limited options. And what you'll find is you have a 50-50 chance to guess correctly, right? So 50% of the time you're going to do a good move. 50% of the time you're not going to do the right thing. What's better? Doing something right 50% of the time or 0% of the time because you hesitate and you don't make a decision? Right? You just increase your odds of success by 50%. That's a great deal in my book. Great deal. Next is trusting yourself. Yo, you gotta trust yourself, all right? Yes, you will make mistakes. They're inevitable, okay? You're human. It's fine, bro. Pick yourself back up. But you gotta trust what you do. Now, the best way to earn trust in yourself is to work hard. Nowadays, you don't hear that. Nowadays, people are like, oh, you want to build self-confidence. You got to look in the mirror, say, hey, I love myself. I'm confident. I'm this, I'm that. I think to actually build self-love, to actually build self-confidence, it's to work on yourself. It's to work on your craft, right? Instead of saying to yourself that you love yourself all the time, like, of course, it's good to say that, but instead of just saying it, be kind to yourself. Treat yourself well. Don't eat crap food. Exercise. This helped me so much because, I've gone through it, man. Low confidence, not having that self-love. Like, this is what I've been studying for years. This is why I make videos. It's to help basketball players with low confidence, bad self-image. This has been what I do. And it's becoming so clear to me, like, man, if you want to build that self-confidence, that self-love, you have to put in the work. It's work. But you become proud of yourself. And I think that's where true self-respect comes in, is you can look back and say, wow, 2 years ago, I started this habit of going to the gym, and now my physique looks a lot better. Wow, I'm proud of myself. As an example. So, in order to trust yourself, you need to start being trustworthy. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you don't want to do something, don't say you'll do it. That's a biblical principle. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. If you say, all right, tomorrow I'm going to work on my ball handling. Tomorrow you better work on your ball handling. Because, look, is missing one ball handling workout going to kill you? No. But that's not the point. The point is that you made a promise to yourself and you didn't keep it. If a friend promises you something and then they don't follow through on their promise, aren't you going to trust them a little bit less? Yeah, they're still your friend, but they broke a promise. So don't break promises with yourself either. All right. I could ramble on about that for a long time. If that's something you would like to see a full video about, let me know in the comments. But I'm going to move on now. Get your mind focused on the right things. If you want to make your varsity basketball team, if you want to achieve something in basketball, you have to set your mind on the right things, man. Your mind is what controls your body. Your brain is the control center. If you want to close your hand, your body doesn't just do it randomly. Your brain sends a signal to your hand to close it, right? If you have the goal of making your varsity team, your body isn't just going to randomly do it. It's going to do what the brain tells it to do. Now, if your brain is unclear of what to do, your body doesn't know. That's why it's so important to have clear goals. Know what you want. Saying, okay, I want to make my varsity basketball team. Cool. How are you going to get there? What are you going to do? Are you going to train once a week, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 4 or 5? Of course, it might need to be more than once or twice a week, but you know what I'm saying. So get your mind focused on the right things, because once it's focused on the right things, you'll be on the right path. By the way, if you want some help with that, and if you want an actual plan that'll get you to your goals of making the varsity basketball team, click that link in the description, Varsity Basketball Blueprint. Next, become comfortable with the worst case scenario. After I got injured in my senior year of high school, I broke my shoulder. I learned a lot. It was a very painful experience, physically and mentally, though. One of the things that I learned from that experience was the worst case scenario is often more scary in your mind than it actually is in real life. And your level of suffering is dependent on how much you allow yourself to suffer. I wrote something. I don't know if it's in this journal I have here. Oh, it is. I flipped to the perfect page. I have a little, I don't know if you want to call it a poem, but this is something that I personally wrote. Fear is an illusion. Pain is a tool. Suffering is a choice. Your suffering, I would say about 90% of the time, is from you. It's from the thoughts that you dwell upon. Fear only exists in the unknown. The key to removing fear is to unmask it. See that the mountainous foe was really just a tall shadow with no backbone. That's my personal writing. Hope you enjoyed that. Become comfortable with the worst case. Let's say your worst case scenario is you check into the game and you airball. That's pretty rough. You don't get many opportunities because you're sitting on the bench, and then you finally check in, you airball. Okay. Let's get comfortable with that experience, because it is possible. All right. What's going to happen? The coach will probably not be very happy about it. He might sub you back out. The crowd will be yelling at you, maybe making fun of you. Maybe the girls at your school will laugh at you. Okay. Not so fun. But is it the end of the world? No. Let's say the coach puts you back on the bench. Well, that's where you were before. So if you're already at 0, you can't go below. You're already at 0. The worst case scenario is much more scary in your mind than it is in reality. And so much of your suffering in life comes from what you focus on and your mental perspective. I look back at the times when I was really going through it and I thought I was suffering bad. I was, but it was from my negative thinking, my thought patterns. So you can become almost immune to suffering in a way if you stop allowing it to cause you fear and anxiety. Because 99% of the things we worry about never come to pass, number one. And number two, when it does come, You can handle it. You can. You're a man. You might not feel like it right now, but you can. I think that's something you do learn after going through it a lot. After you've been through some things, you start to learn it. And I think that goes for everybody in life. But the sooner you understand that, the better. Next is have fun. Man, you're overthinking because you're too tense. You gotta let loose. The game of basketball is supposed to be fun. And if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. It's a game. I know I've been very serious. I'm a very serious person when it comes to basketball, but have fun, man. You're going to regret that tenseness you played with. One day you're going to look back and say, remember the days when I used to play basketball? Yeah, I wish I could go back just one more time. That's what you'll say one day. So you might as well enjoy it now while you still have it, instead of getting all caught up in your worries. Last thing, breathe. You gotta breathe. Before you check into the game, you're at the scorer's table, you're taking a knee or you're sitting, whatever, take a deep breath. That's gonna help you a lot. When you're in basketball games and you're overthinking, I assume you're taking shallow breaths, right? Because you're nervous, you're on edge. Right? Maybe not to that extent. That was a bit exaggerated, but you're not going to be breathing deeply. Think about when you're in a very calm place. Let's say you're sitting on the beach. Are your breaths going to be very quick? No, they're going to be... Take that big deep breath right before you check in, and it'll put you in a better state. Focus on breathing deep when you're in these games. So those are my pieces of advice to help you stop overthinking. Once again, if you're serious about making the varsity basketball team this year, click that link in the description. But if you would like to learn how to make varsity without being the best player, click this video. But as always, keep God first. Stay blessed, bro. Love you, man.